Chapter 2. A Leap to Change. I stopped living with my brother when I graduated from the university, and letting me off of his hook has never been the easiest. His concerns extends through my multiple attempts, and convincing him to let me have a space of my own were a second crucial thing I had to go through, living every day being the first. He had to let me go. I needed him to let me go. He had to have his own life, not spawn over at every chance I took in cutting mine. I can't have him looking over my shoulders his whole life. He needs to date, he needs a life, get a family, build a home somewhere. He needs to stop making me feel like I'm a burden, which I am. It wasn't easy at first, the persuasion. He had to talk to his friend, my therapist at the time, asking if it's a good idea. Of course, the guy told him it was not, and he suggested things would only be worse if I ever did move out. I grew repulsive about it, remembering the memory of them talking about it back in their office, with me slumped in my seat, like I was some child to be fostered away. I did feel a little again, like 1,000 times before, around their presence. And at the end of the day, they both decided that moving out is not a good idea. My brother even insisted that it was not going to happen, making me regret asking for permission in the first place. But he completely underestimated me in things he wasn't aware I was capable of. In between my suicidal times, I kept myself isolated at our house and found an interest in web development and web designing. A fascination that made me realize I took a completely wrong course in a university I hated going to. Web development and design has become a rising demand in the technology growth over the past decade. And the pay was good, they say. Not that I actually care about it, until I took my first unofficial job doing it, and I received a handsome sum. It was a client from northwest of Michigan, United States, through the border of Lansing. A client I found through browsing a website whose existence were entirely for nerds like me, ones that are not looking for a full-time commitment and only wanted to be paid by task or hour. I won't dwell too much into the technicalities, but with decent exposure to a website's design, patterns, and security, I passed the client's qualification on a 4-week project I've completed in less than 3. I nonchalantly checking my email a few days after, and my thoughts flared and soared, seeing that the work payment has been transferred to my account. That money starts everything for me, at least living on my own. I found a nice apartment at the border of the city, a few minutes drive from the Burnham Park, and a few hours away from Manila. I was offered a fair enough rent. I can afford up to 2 to 3 months of what I earned. I packed my things, waited for Robert to come home, and when he was busy unloading his things on his bedroom, I sneaked into putting my things to his car and drove away without so much of a note on where I'm going. It left him baffled, angry, and disappointed even. It took him a few days of persuasion over the phone asking me to come back before he gave up on the idea of me living alone. I felt bad about keeping him off of the details of my disappearance, and the guilt ran over me when he persuaded me again into trying to continue the therapy sessions. And surprisingly, I said yes, only if it meant him leaving me the hell alone, and me leaving my own hell away from him alone.